So here are 5 ways that you can turn a one-off gig into a relationship and ways that you can develop ongoing communication with them without just calling in and begging for work, basically, right? The first one is you can share an interesting article or resource or get them on your newsletter list. Even if you don't get them on your newsletter list, you come across something and you go, "Hey, I remember when we were talking about how AI is going to impact the composing business. And I just came across this article, thought you might want to see it." That's a check in that's providing value, restarting and reigniting and staying on their radar without just going, "Hey, you looking to hire anybody?" Provide value. And it's really easy. It's really easy to find stuff that's interesting and valuable, and people will appreciate it. And you do that over time. If every few weeks, every couple of months, you're sending them something valuable, they're just seeing you as valuable. "Oh, it's so cool that Marcus sends me this stuff." So you're staying top of mind and in a good way in there. You're not annoying them, basically. The second one is you can reach out to them and compliment them on the success of something you did together or something your work was involved in. So you said you worked on like the Abraham Lincoln thing. When that launches, you can reach out and be like, "Hey, I went to see it. My kid loved it. It was amazing. Congratulations." Or you work on some movie and it's, "Oh, I saw you guys got an amazing review for the movie. Congratulations. That was so cool." That kind of thing, right? Nobody doesn't like a compliment, but do it genuine, right? Don't ruin it by doing that. And then at the end going, "So you looking to hire anybody?" Like that. Don't do that. Then the third one is if you have a newsletter, a podcast, a blog, whatever, you can interview them. Everybody likes to be, especially people who aren't typically interviewed. The idea that like someone thinks they're an expert and wants to feature them, it's just a way to continue the relationship. "Hey, it was great working with you. I do this podcast, I do this blog, whatever. You got time for a 10-minute call? I'd love to feature you. Like, I thought it was so interesting when you talked about whatever." Easy ways to keep that connection going and turn it into a relationship without being obnoxious. The next one, connect them to someone else that would be valuable for them to know. So this is the reverse of, "Hey, who do you know that maybe I should know?" You can go to them and be like, "Hey, I did some work for these people at Warner Brothers. You should know this guy." Or, "I came across this ad agency. Like, if you're interested, I'd be happy to connect you guys, or all three of us could go to lunch or whatever." Everybody wants a bigger network, but it's challenging to do it. They're nervous, they don't wanna ask, they're lazy, they're busy, they're whatever. So being able to be that connector, in most cases, people will really appreciate. And then the last one, give them some behind the scenes info that they'll care about. Again, the more you're in the industry, the more you're in this sort of community, you're gonna discover things that they don't. The guy that works at Disney has no idea how Warner Brothers operates. So if you reach out and you're able to go, "Hey, did something for Warner Brothers, or a friend of mine did something for Warner Brothers. And I thought it was really interesting the way they approach their pipeline or the way they handle this or whatever. I'd love to thought you'd be interested." And whether you put it in the email or whether you meet with them or whatever, that kind of stuff, like people will eat that up. And it doesn't have to be just their competitors, but it could be like what vendors are doing or whatever, any kind of inside information about their industry, because that guy can't get that. So as much as it might seem like the guy at Disney has an advantage you don't have in terms of whatever status or within the industry, but there's advantages to being on the outside because there's lots of stuff that they don't see. And I think that information is really valuable and powerful. And again, you're becoming a source for this person, which is really interesting. And you're just developing a relationship. They're associating you with value, they're associating you with trust. All of these things, when it comes down to, we can hire Marcus or we can hire this other guy, both songs are good. Now you have that advantage. And the crazy thing about clients and most stuff is it doesn't need to work that many times. Like one or two people can be career changing.